So this is best of one pre-sighted after seeing the opponent's leader and base. So my opponent's playing JTL Boba Yellow. This is a deck I'm pretty familiar with, so I immediately put in the Disabling Fangfighter from my sideboard. It's my third copy. I remain deck 2. I was a bit hesitant whether to put in the 2 Bravados or not because I was a bit fearful of No Good To Me Dead. Because you can't Bravado to ready a unit on the same turn that it is No Good To Me Deaded. I also wasn't too sure what to take out, so I ended up just taking out one of each of the Planetary Bombardment, Devastator, and the Ruthless Raider, just one of each of my top end basically. Oh, here, Alyssa forgot her token box, so I'm letting her borrow some of my dice. Yeah, my opponent didn't sideboard. I think he said that he didn't really know the matchup or something, but so what ended up happening is that he decided to mulligan, and then he ended up not having a turn 1 play. But looking at his hand, oh yeah, he also saw his hand before we did the initiative thing, but minor details, I guess. But looking at his hand, I thought it was okay. He had the Starhopper, and then I pretty sure I saw a droid missile platform. So that's at least a turn 1 and turn 2 play. So I kind of went through my cards quickly, or too quickly for the camera to see too properly, but the main notables is that there's a Daring Raid and a TIE Bomber in my starting hand. It's not the strongest hand because I think I would prefer a Kylo TIE Sensor, but because I have a Daring Raid, I wasn't too afraid because even if they had a Kylo TIE Sensor start, I would have initiative, and then my very first action the following turn would most likely be to just Daring Raid it. But here we see my opponent missed their turn 1 play, so that's a bit unfortunate. So they play P38, ping my TIE Bomber, and then doing the 1 indirect damage, which I redirect to my base. Play my Daring Raid. I did accidentally exhaust 2 resources, but I eventually rectify it. I drew into the Kylo Tensor, so that helped fill out my curve. So at this point, I'm feeling pretty good. I am like keeping in my mind that they are generally a bit more burstier than me with the use of like surprise strikes. So they play the heavy fighter that deals 3 indirect damage, and if any of the indirect damage is allocated to the units, it would exhaust them. So I would just allocate all the indirect damage to my base. So here I'm basically considering if I should trade my Kalatai sensor with their heavy fighter or not, because I am a little bit afraid of if they do like a Vader pilot onto it, and then I basically need to have an answer, or I kind of just die, or at least I can't really easily get rid of it. So I drew into a Salacious Crumb and I think a Grenade Strike. So I think the reasoning why I tossed the Grenade Strike was, well, I could deploy my leader, so that can clear the board if need be. I think also just fills out my curve better, because I don't have like another 4-drop if I do end up playing Grenade Strike just to kill their heavy fighter. So I think this is a misplay on my opponent's part. I think they should have swung with their heavy fighter first into like something, either my Kyle TIE sensor or into my TIE bomber, and just get the free kill first. I think here I was considering planetary bombardment just to get that 1 extra indirect damage value from my leader. So I deploy my leader. 2 of the 4 damage is kind of wasted because they can't damage the lurking TIE Phantom. There's the No Good To Me Dead. They claim, I just trade just to deny the vehicle for their leader flip. So I drew into another MC30 and a Fet's Fire Spray. So they play their Fet's Fire Spray, set 1 variant. I basically immediately just trade it just to deny their leader flip. So now my TIE Bomber leader unit is readied. They kill my Crumb, which is fine. It's like, it's just there to be like a bit annoying. Want to get my value in with the leader pilot before, in case it gets like another no good to me deaded or like the sibling Fang Fighter. So I'm holding on to a Yularen and a Planetary Bombardment. So it's going to do 12 indirect damage, which honestly isn't that bad. I mean, it's not good for him, but with the Ruthless Raider out, that could absorb at least 5 damage. So 3 damage onto the Boba, 1 damage onto the First Order Stormtrooper. So that's 8 damage remaining to be allocated. So he puts 5 onto Ruthless Raider, which I agree with, because it's gonna die anyways. And you kind of actually want it to be on the lower health, so it could actually take out either my MC-30 or my TIE Bomber the following turn. Okay, so I drew into a Disabling Fang Fighter and an MC-30. Yeah, at this point, like the only thing that could like save him would be like a Cunning to double exhaust my vehicles. Surprise Strike into my MC-30, deal the 2 damage to my base and to my TIE Bomber. And that's just swinging for 7, 4 from the Boba, and then 3 indirect from the TIE Bomber.